Okay. Hi. All right. So welcome back, Libras. Libras. I'm sorry, Virgos. I just came from a Libra video, so please forgive me, my Virgos. This is for you guys. I'm sorry, my boy is here. Oh goodness. All right, you go lay down now, okay? My Aries is he's so warm and fuzzy. All right, let's take a look. By the way, guys, please don't miss out on your chance to partake in this year's holiday Christmas party. If you look in the description box, hey, Ms. Hermit, if you look in the description box, you will find that there is a link there. It'll take you to a video, and that's where you will find out all about this year's Christmas party for my subscribers and all the different prizes you can enter to win. So don't miss that video, okay? All right, so we begin with the lighthouse, the mice, and the moon. Gotta say, this storyline starts out with the sensation of distance, isolation, the perception of being lonely, and some stress. It's not a great way to begin, but I happen to love lighthouses. So, on the other hand, a lighthouse is, yes, we could think of it as lonely if you're a lighthouse keeper, or in the past, certainly, I was a pretty lonely place to be. But think of what the lighthouse really does. It is the thing that guide or used to guide ships safely to keep them from running aground. So this is actually saying that we have help in all of this. Yes, the mice are about worry and things that kind of fray our nerves. And the moon, although it can be about loneliness, remember the moon is also a huge gravitational source. It actually, plays a massive role on the earth, creates the tides of the sea. It impacts the entire earth with its gravitational pull, even though it's a quarter of the size of the earth. So we actually have gone from my first impression of kind of like loneliness, isolation, and stress to protection. Yes, still some frayed nerves, but kind of scattered energy on this. And the awareness that there is something at play here that is not seen but is having a profound effect. It is pulling someone towards something, maybe without them even realizing it. So all of a sudden, our storyline changes a little. I think we have a character who has other forces acting in their life that they are like subconsciously aware of, but they're still kind of like stressing out, almost like they're going, I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know. I don't know. And this says, just trust that we're being guided carefully through something, and we don't have control at the moment, but there might be a reason for that. Maybe because cosmic influences are at play here. So the subtle stress of like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when anything's going to change. I'm not really sure where the flow of my life is taking me, or I can't see all of the pieces on the chessboard right now. This kind of says, that's okay. You're not supposed to. When we drive our car, we need to be super alert. But when we get on a train, we're just a passenger. The only person that has any control over where that train is going, what tracks we're going to be on, is the conductor. And there's a reason for that. You can't have a bunch of people trying to drive the train. You can only have one. Right now, this is a character who's on the train. They're not in their own car right now, is the best analogy I can give. So they don't have freedom necessarily because things are, they get to just sit back for just a little bit. That's all I'll say about that. Because there's stress, let me go with one of my stressy decks. 7 of coins, 9 of wands. Oh, this person does not like to wait. I understand. Who does like to wait? But with this 9 of wands, this is somebody who is actually not ready, even though they think that they are. No, they don't want to wait. They want everything now. And unfortunately, it can't happen just now. And they're saying, but I'm ready for it. But you notice if so, a 9 of wands is a wounded warrior card. It's a warrior who is almost ready to get back out onto the battlefield, but not quite because they're depleted. So they're usually depicted as sitting there like catching their breath. But in this case, we have somebody who's hiding, not showing themselves in the doorway, but they put a little stick version of themselves out there. And they're saying, no, see, I'm ready. No, baby, you're not, because you haven't stepped fully into the doorway and you haven't crossed through the threshold. Instead, there's a little scary goblin here, and you're on the lookout to see, like, I'm kind of scared of this. Can I do this or can I not? This says, no, baby, you can't. And that's why we saw the Seven of Pentacles. We got to kind of give things a little bit more time. Now, this could literally talk about it's not quite the right time for someone to either reach out to Virgo, or it's not the right time for Virgo to meet someone else. Maybe Virgo's secretly still scared to hear from someone or to face someone. Or maybe this is about somebody saying, I'm deep down, maybe I'm not really ready to date. Maybe I say that I want to and I'm lonely, but in fact, the universe says, no, sweetheart, you're not quite ready just yet. You're real close though. That's kind of the way I would look at this. But on the other hand, this character is kind of contradicting themselves. They're saying that they're nervous. How long is everything going to take? I'm ready. But with the imagery here, it says, are you really? And I think that that's like, it's so understandable that, we can be frustrated and want change, but we still have a quiver of fear in our tummies about the idea of change. Let me go just a little bit further on that. We got the Magician and we got the Two of Swords. And look at this. With the Two of Swords, they're standing half in the light and half in the shadow. There's one day this character is so ready, the other day they're not. 1 minute they're like, I'm so ready. The next second they aren't. I feel like this person flip-flops back and forth. And I feel like with the Magician, this is such a great depiction of a magician and their energy. We've got this squiggled mess of energy, but we see in amongst the squiggles, some of it's like their atoms are reconfiguring and being reanimated until we'll finally see the magician fully standing there in front of us. But right now, their energy is still buzzing all over the place. This is a character who can manifest like a boss, but not when they're of two minds about something. Karen, thank you so much for that beautiful donation. You sweetie, thank you. Melly, thank you so much. I am so honored that you're here, and I'm glad you look forward to the Virgo reads. This is a character they're just, as soon as they dial everything in, where their body, mind, and spirit is like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm not scared at all. Or I am scared, but I still know I'm going to push on through. As soon as they do that, it's going to be game on. But we have a character who is frustrated by the delays, but I don't think that they've realized it is their perpetual, like, I'm ready. No, I'm not. God, I'm not ready, but I am, because I want this now, but I'm so scared to do this. At some point, this character is going to get beyond that. I'm scared, but energy, or I want this, but energy. They just have to say, I want this, and then it's going to be go time. Okay, so truthfully, I don't know who this is yet. Is this Virgo, or is this somebody who wants to interact with Virgo? The Magician is Virgo Gemini energy. This could be a Virgo who needs to get a little bit fed up and say, why would I be nervous about anything? I'm a freaking Virgo. I want this. It's going to be mine. It could be like that. But it's so funny how I said before, it's like they can't really make things happen any faster because they're a passenger on the train. And now I'm contradicting it, saying they can't be of two minds. But let me explain how that could be, because I feel like this is basically the journey for this character. They're going through like an upgrade right now. Whomever this character is, they might be frustrated and they might be feeling like they're kind of pulled in two different directions. Think of if we've ever moved houses or apartments, you know how like I've moved a lot in my life, a lot. And oftentimes it would be like I'd find myself having an overlap, sometimes of a whole month, where I'm still in one place for a month, but I'm in the process of moving to the next place. And so now I'm scattered. I'm in two different places. My life is in a state of flux, and it's really hard to remember where you put your clothes, the clothes that you needed for tomorrow. Are they at the old place or are they at the new place? Oh crap. I was going to fix dinner, but I don't have any dishes here because they're still at the old place. It's really tough to be able to get comfortable when you're still only halfway done leaving and only halfway done arriving. That's the way I would describe it when I say this is an upgrade or a journey that our character is on. And part of it is this upgrade they don't have control over it. Something is changing inside of our character. Maybe it's that they're becoming a full blown manifester, they're becoming a full blown magician. And so that upgrade is going to be like seriously momentous. This character is going to be able to achieve anything. But right now, they're almost there. And they're frustrated because they want to just be there, but there's a part of them that's not comfortable with it yet. Well, no, they haven't mastered it yet. They got to get that final little tweak of confidence in. We got the Four of Swords and we got the Hermit. Yeah, we're about done with this journey. So it is the Virgo who's on this journey. They're putting the finishing touches on an upgrade in their soul. But what it had to do with was a healing journey. So I wonder if for a while this character had been flip flopping between like, I'm still so wounded over, or heartbroken over something. I'm carrying ancestral wounds. I'm trying to get over a heartbreak that ripped open all kinds of other like layers of wounding that I carried. Basically, this could be a character who's about to leave behind an entire era of their life and all the traumas that were a part of it and emerge this completely renewed version of themselves, completely healed. And for a while, they might flip flop between, no, I'm still mad at those people who hurt me. No, I'm not. They hurt me once, but I'm a different version of me now. It doesn't hurt anymore. The pain is gone. No, I'm still mad. And they might have gone back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which I think is super understandable when we're like grieving and going through that whole process and the hurt and anger and all of that. But as they get closer and closer, it's like they're right there. We're seeing them. First, it was like swinging like this. I'm mad. No, I'm fine. No, I'm furious. No, I'm okay. No, I'm a little bit hurt, but mostly I'm healed. Well, I still remember those things, but it's not as traumatic to revisit. But wait a second, I'm revisiting it a lot less, and then finally it's going to be like, wait a second, I don't feel anything when I think about that anymore. It doesn't emotionally charge me anymore. I'm beyond that phase of my life. That's pretty huge. And it's really interesting because that's the moment that we have big love coming in. And it could happen almost on the same day. A day, and I think that's what this whole story is. I think this Virgo is like this close to being at a place where they go, oh my God, I'm over it. They might notice it. They might wake up one morning and they look different and they feel different and they know something has changed about me. They may have like a bright glow to their skin. They may choose to wear brighter colors that day, even if it's, like not many people maybe wear yellow on a, gray wintry day, but they're out there wearing sunshine yellow and they just know I just closed a chapter of my existence. And that may be the day that they meet this King of Wands, or the day that this King of Wands emerges into their life or reemerges. I'm not going to, anything is possible when something changes. It's almost like if we were at a really loud and abrasive concert where we hated the music and it was just pounding, and we all of a sudden just turned off the sound, or the band quit like clanging on the instruments, and we go, oh my God, my ears feel so good all of a sudden. And then somebody starts singing and it's beautiful and it's totally replaced by like the most gorgeous baritone we've ever heard, and it's just simple and it's strong and it's a melody we can really resonate with. And it's like, oh my God, that's how profound I think this change is going to be. And I think it happens as abruptly as it would if we turned off music and turned on a whole different song. There's that Seven of Coins. It was so worth it. The Seven of Coins, the time that our character did not want to have to continuously spend. You notice how everything was still kind of dry and it needed some care and attention. That's where our Virgo has been. They needed a little bit more time for care and attention for themselves. And now they go, oh, damn, this is worth the harvest. Hell yeah, this is worth the harvest. Tell me just about the King of Wands. Because I don't know who this King of Wands is, but I feel like This is Virgo's forever person. That could be a masculine or a feminine, doesn't matter. There's somebody who is very open. They've got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. We have a Three of Wands upright. We have the Hanged Man. They have been waiting for this Virgo for a while, energetically speaking. This has been this Piscean energy. I mean, they could be a fire sign, they could be a Pisces. The big thing is this character is not holding anything back. They're open. They have plans for a future. And I think that as much as they've been creating plans for their own life, if they've been waiting to meet someone like Virgo, all of a sudden it's going to be like, oh my God, I'd be open to rewriting plans. What does the future look like with Virgo beside me? I thought I was doing this by myself. I was open to meeting someone, but I hadn't. And now that I have, what does the future look like together? This is a character who's very open to a partnership. They're very open to, like what another person adds into their life. Death card, King of Cups. Okay, so I'm really sorry, but that King of Wands is amazing. That King of Wands is in such a good place. That King of Wands is perfect for, like being open to this interaction with Virgo. However, at the same time that this whole like thunderclap of an ending of Virgo's life has occurred, you notice we actually have somebody pulling a tarot card here. This is the Death card. At the moment of this ending, it's not just that suddenly Virgo's in a better space and they meet this King of Wands. The moment of that ending, we have a King of Cups. Suddenly somebody says, I'm in love with the Virgo. I can't get over this Virgo. They got the Six of Swords in the reverse. I can't let him go. Yeah, I feel Virgo's gone. All of a sudden, like maybe they just got a tarot card reading all of a sudden on the Virgo. But all of a sudden, they're madly in love. They can't get over the Virgo. They can't let it go. How can I let Virgo go? So why is this King of Cups suddenly so in love with Virgo? I mean, that sounds rude. Like, why are they in love with Virgo? I don't mean it that way. The Hermit, that's all they can think of. What do you mean? I need my Virgo. I need my Virgo. But it's interesting because the Virgo is the Hermit. It's more like they suddenly like got the light up like bat signal in the sky that says, hey, remember Virgo? And they're like, yeah, that's all I can think of. I'm steeped in this. Oh, I need to take a sudden leap of faith toward Virgo. I need to go confess everything. Seven of Swords in the reverse. I don't know if they were a liar in the past, but they want to come in and spill their guts now. Take a huge leap of faith, suddenly come rushing into Virgo. Okay, what is prompting this? What is prompting this? Is it the Virgo's huge upgrade that they did? Seven of Cups, they don't even understand why. They just suddenly are like zombies with brains, but instead it's like Virgo. They don't even understand why they suddenly have this profound, like, I'm in love with Virgo. As much as a thunderclap as the ending is for Virgo, it's the beginning for them, or like the kickstart, the restart. I definitely feel like this is somebody who can't let go of Virgo all of a sudden. They love this Virgo. Who were they to the Virgo in the past? Like, how did they treat the Virgo in the past? Judgment in the reverse. They said they were done with Virgo. Two of Pentacles upright and Justice. They could have been a Libra who said, oh, it's over. I'm never going back to Virgo. Could have been a Scorpio. They either said Virgo treated me bad or they treated Virgo bad. But they said never again. And then with this Two of Pentacles, it's weird because it's like they turned their back on this, but then they didn't, but then they did. Or maybe they thought Virgo did. Maybe they thought Virgo was indecisive with me. But I'm asking about them, and it says that they were indecisive. I think that did Virgo and this person, did they turn their back on each other a bunch of different times? Is that why they each got the Two of Pentacles? The indecisive, the hot and cold, the yes, the no, the sometimes I'm standing in the light, sometimes I'm in the shadow. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the Two of Swords, and this is the Two of Pentacles. I just can't help but see the similarities here, so I'm reading them like they're the same card, and they're not. This was super unfair. They only saw it as it from their perspective. So it was unfair. The way they viewed Virgo was unfair. But the fact that they said I'm never getting back with the Virgo, but then they were back and forth. They thought about it all the time. This is very complicated, and I'm going to say this could have been part of what the Virgo has been healing from, and even why they had the feeling of isolation and the feeling of, um, worry and the feeling of like, God, am I ever going to be over this? I'm thinking it was that relationship that they were like, God, am I ever going to be over this? I'm ready to meet somebody. But deep down, they still had a little bit of finishing work to do. And now that they're really good, of course, that's when this X wants to yo-yo back in, just when Virgo meets this warm-hearted, loving King of Wands, which is going to put Virgo in a pretty tough spot because they're going to have to decide. They're going to have to decide between two. Six of Cups. This is a returning soulmate. This person who I think this is that King of Cups still that we're on. They didn't want a redual, a renewal or a redo with Virgo before. Now they do. Now, Virgo, you're my Six of Cups. You're my soulmate. Of course I have to come back to you. Let me ask this. What was it about Virgo's transformation upgrade that triggered them to suddenly feel this way? Because they can't seem to answer that. They don't know. We've got a Knight of Pentacles. We've got a Ten of Wands sideways. This has always been an unfinished symphony. This has always been incomplete. Virgo changing and transforming into like the most powerful version of themselves only threw light on the fact that they have been slowly like gravitating toward Virgo all this time. Because what do you do when something is unfinished? If it's truly unfinished and we didn't get answers as to why, it'll be the thing that we always wonder about. Or if there was a love story that was incomplete, it'll be the one that got away. Virgo has always been the one that got away. There has always been either bad feelings, guilt, stress, fear, remorse, shame. Those emotions have existed for them all this time. That's the real reason Virgo having some energetic shift. It's like it's dumping all of that on them. They might just now, for the first time ever, be seeing it as maybe I did some crap stuff. Yeah, maybe all of a sudden some guilt is popping up for them. The Virgo has alleviated guilt and stress. If the Virgo used to wonder, was it my fault that this failed? They don't think that anymore. And now those questions are left on their shoulders. It looks to me like it's a transference. Virgo is free of this connection. They're free of whatever happened with it. They've healed from it. And this person who I do think that they were real kind of nasty is what it looks like. Certainly with the Justice card in the upright, that was unfair. And they said, I'm never getting back with Virgo. But then they never stopped thinking about Virgo. Now they're like, I love Virgo. I can't let him go. And it seems like it's all because the Virgo really healed from this. And now their conscience is hitting them. Now there's like, what if I messed this up? I blamed everything on the Virgo. What if I contributed to this? They've been thinking about this for a long time, but it's just now really kicking in. And I think it's because who owns all that energy? The Virgo has taken it off their shoulders. And now that energy was still swirling around there in the cosmos. Now it's being placed on their shoulders squarely. That's the way I would say this. Page of Swords and the Lovers. Wow. Now, if they start looking Virgo up, they start looking at Virgo's, social media or something, they're like, oh my God, I'm falling in love all over again. I gotta have Virgo. They're hotter than I even remember. This is someone that I can't believe I ever let him go. How could I have said I never wanted to get back with the Virgo? Of course, that's the person that I want. I remember their lips. I remember this. I remember that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, the yo-yoing. Okay, let's. The ghost of Christmas past coming back. I see you. Arrest fourth horseman. I see you out there. It's a great way to say it. So we have the Hierophant in the reverse, and we have the Sun. Any way I slice it, I see that it's like we have someone who has all this clarity now. This is where my happiness lies. The only problem with this is that with the Hierophant in the reverse, I still think that this character wants Virgo for their lover, but when it comes to long term relationship, they're not thinking about marriage. They're just thinking, I want to have a fabulous vacation. I can picture me and Virgo having this romantic getaway. I can picture us on the beach. I can picture us with the sunshine. I can picture us, and it'll be so fun. It'll be so great. I still don't know, even though they say that they love the Virgo so much, do they really have grown up plans? Or is this about gratification? We have the world. We have the Six of Pentacles sideways. Look, I'm sorry, but the way, even though this King of Cups suddenly has decided they're madly in love with Virgo, I would argue it's pretty telling that once upon a time they said, I'm never getting back with Virgo. They did me wrong. And then they can flip on a dime and say, wait a minute. No, I want them. Maybe I did some mistakes too. Okay, now I look at their pictures and I'm crazy head over heels again. They're saying, I want a new beginning. But have they changed? Do they have something more that they want to give this time? This says no. They actually are still saying, well, Virgo needs to give a bunch to me, and then I'll give some to them. This looks like they keep trying to insist it needs to be a two-way street. But here's what I would ask. If Virgo had so much hurt and pain that was somehow possibly associated with this situation, and they've taken this long to heal from it, and the other character has not fully taken much for responsibility, I mean, not much at all, it makes me wonder if if this is a real big mismatch. Let me just see. Got Temperance that came out kind of in the reverse, and we got the Empress upright. I don't think that they realize Virgo is an Empress. I think that they remember how great Virgo was now, but I don't think it's computed for them. Virgo's an Empress. Virgo always wanted something long term. They always wanted something loving. They always wanted something stable. And if this character didn't contribute to that, then there would never be balance and equality. And if they still are not thinking about marriage and they're not thinking about long-term relationship, they're just thinking about vacations on the beach and how much fun it will be and how hot Virgo is, instead of thinking about what is a relationship look like with Virgo. I want them in my life long term. I don't think that this character thinks that way. And I think that is always going to create the mismatch here. And I don't think that they know that. So as far as the relationship with Virgo and this King of Wands, tell me just a little bit about that. We've got Action of Pentacles. We've got Seven of Pentacles. We got the Moon. This says for Virgo to take that relationship slow, invest in this person, get to know them, know that there's a lot that, when we meet somebody, there's a lot that we haven't learned about them yet. But we see the owl here for the wisdom. And it says this person is still waters that run deep. This is a character worthy of giving time and attention to. To me, I am cheering for Virgo and the new boo, that King of Wands. That's what I hope the Virgo goes toward. Someone who they invest in, somebody who already was open to like altering life plans and talking about a future together. We saw that with the King of Wands. We don't see any longevity with that person from the past who wants to pop back in. We see somebody who has only short-term ideas versus this new person who has long-term ideas. And if that's what the Virgo wants, invest in getting to know that person, see what compromises are necessary, see who this character really is, and connect to this new person who has way more potential. I'm going to wager to bet that's why the Virgo, what I said at the beginning, it's like there has been something guiding this Virgo safely and pulling this Virgo through some tough moments. And even though Virgo's been stressed out and worried at times, am I always going to be alone? Am I ever going to get through this? Will I ever be fully healed? All of this has said, yes, Virgo, there's a reason this is taking so much time. And here's what I'm going to wager to bet. It's so that the Virgo is healed enough that when an ex pops back into their life, they don't just say, yes, okay, I'll accept it. It still is crummy. Maybe nothing has changed. Maybe they still don't think about long term, but they're back, so that must mean that they love me, so I better give them another shot. Instead, Virgo's healed enough that they are jiving with somebody different now when that ex comes back in. And that might be protective. It might be so that they can see and compare and contrast, but they had to be healed enough to be able to do that. And that might have been why the universe has been making them wait so long. It was a gift. This Virgo has only been kept waiting for a relationship this long because the universe is like, you've got to be ready to see the differences and not be choosing from a wounded space, because it's hard. Look, if we were exhausted and thirsty and somebody came up and said, here, I can offer you a liquid. It's not something you should be drinking. It's toxic, but at least it's wet. And we go, that's okay, I just need something. And so we drink it down and we get super sick. Versus what if we had to wait just a little bit longer, go, quarter mile further. Yes, we're more exhausted, but that's where we meet somebody who goes, here's this jug of water. Let me offer this to you. And we get to, satiate our thirst. And then up walks this person with the poison beverage. And we go, yeah, no thanks. Don't want your poison beverages. That's real sweet of you to offer, but that would make me sick. I'm so glad that I didn't meet poison beverage before I met gallon of water person. Like that's kind of the best way for me to say this. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys in the next ones. I'm sorry this got so long. Thank you very much for giving it a thumbs up. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.